In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. You don't need all, that's why you're in trouble. You don't need all these credit cards. This is a year I told God, God, I decree I'm getting out of debt. Y'all looking at me, it don't matter. That's what I decree. Because see, let me tell you something. I went through that area that I wasn't trusting God like I should. When you don't trust God and you got bills, you cannot sleep at night. Y'all know I'm talking to somebody. You're worried. I've been there. I know what I'm talking about. But you know, and I was going to do like everybody else. I had called the, what they call the folk? The credit counselors, the ones that'll pay your, all they do is going to pay your bills for you. That's all they do. That's them. Yeah, the consolidation. That's it. They just pay your bills. You just pay somebody to pay your bills. And then they're going to charge you an arm and a leg to do it. Come on, that's all it is. And I remember the Lord spoke to me and said, how in the world are you going to take offerings and you don't believe what you're saying? He got me for that. I called them folk back. I said, no, thank you. I can pay my own bills. And you know what? You know how I start doing it? I start paying my tithes consistently. Come on, somebody. I ain't need no consolidation. Come on. Y'all looking at me, but I'm telling the truth. I couldn't talk about it if I'd never been there. I understand. That's why I'm able to stand flat-footed and tell you that paying tithes works. It really does open up a floodgate for your life. So let's walk this year. Don't fall into that area of unbelief where you don't give. And stop questioning the motive of the gift. You know, it bothers me when people sit in the audience and talk about, well, what they trying to raise money for now? Woo. How you think you sitting here? Hello? I think the light bill have to get paid. This is a big church. Heating bill, I don't even want to see it. Yeah, I know how it is with our church. How do you know, so it shouldn't matter what if they, you know what? I trust my leader so much. And this is me. I trust him so much that if he says we need such and such amount, it don't even cross my mind for what? Because I know my leader. I know his integrity. And I know whatever it's for is going right into the church. Oh, y'all ain't going to like it, but it's the truth anyhow. And that's what we got to get back to, because that's what the enemy is trying to do, is make us not trust our leaders. But people will flock to the leaders that don't live no kind of life. They got folks preaching right on TBN. Got folks pregnant in their church. And I wouldn't say it if I didn't know what I was talking about. I got people I know go to these churches, had to leave. One pastor's on sabbatical in Africa because he done got 2 women pregnant in the church. This the day we're living in. This is what Jude was talking about. He said, but somebody got to stand up and let people know that there is a difference between clean and unclean. There's a difference between holy and unholy. That's what Jude was saying. Somebody got to fight for what we believe in. Come on. The devil is a liar. All churches are not the same. All pastors, y'all ain't gonna like it, but they're not the same. God does have some holy people. And that's what Jude was trying to get over to the people, to let them see that we really living in a mess. That's what he was telling them. And this stuff has crept, that's the bad part. It's crept into the church. We're not even dealing with outside the church. We're dealing with inside the church. Come on, somebody. And God is not going to stand for it. See, what happens is people have become comfortable about their sin. Because what they say, well, you know what? God ain't killed me yet. Ain't nothing happened yet. But God is so merciful. He's trying to give you time to get it right. Come on, somebody. But how many know there's going to come a point where time will be no more? Come on, on, somebody. There's going to be a time when you're going to have to meet Jesus. I know y'all said this is elementary stuff. It was elementary in Jude. The people knew all of this. But he had to remind them. Come on. Building yourselves on your most holy faith. Come on. Come on. That's where we are now. You've got to pray in the Spirit. Come on. Have y'all noticed that when you pray, it changes your outlook? That, you know what? A very powerful story to me is the story with Elijah and his servant. And remember, it was the king of Israel, I believe it was, and the king of Syria was fighting against each other. Thank you, preachers. And what happened was the man was so unnerved because every time the king of Syria was getting ready to attack the king of Israel, God would let the man of God know, let Elijah know, and he will go and warn them. And every time they would get to that place, they could never come in and overtake them because they had been warned. And the king of Syria got so unnerved about it, he called his men in. He said, okay, which one of us is a traitor? And the man said, none of us, king. He said, but there's a prophet named Elijah. This is the part I like. He said, God gives him what you're going to do in his bedroom. Now, why am I saying that? Do y'all not know real saints of God can hear when you're talking about them? Y'all ain't going to believe it. Oh, God, help me in the house. Yeah, real leaders can hear when there's grumbling and complaining out of their congregation. Y'all better get in y'all word. He said he hears. He hears. God give it to him in his bedroom. So by the time you get there, God has already warned them, and you can't come in and take over those cities. So you know what they did? They got a whole army to go after one man. See, we don't know how powerful we are. One can bring 1,000 a flight, right? And two, how many? Somebody know their word. You are really powerful in God. Stop falling into this area that, you know what, I know God can use them, but God can't use me. That devil is a liar. Don't fall into that this year. And the thing that I love about that story, that here they come at night, surrounded the city. And all they know, when they got up, they looked out, here was a whole army, the Syrian army. And the servant said, Master, what are we going to do? We're surrounded. But see, because he was the man of God. See, did y'all know they could see further than we can see? Y'all looking at me. He saw something that the servant didn't see. He said, Lord, open up his eyes that he may see. And when the servant's eyes came open, there was a host of God's army, an army, a flaming army that surrounded the Syrian army. What am I trying to tell you? Sometimes you got to take another look. You need to get in the spirit. Come on, somebody. It might be that thing don't change, because the bottom line is this: that army was there. But when he looked in the spirit, he saw the glory of God. I don't care what you're dealing with. I don't care what the situation is. Get in the spirit and see the glory of God. That's all you got to do. But the devil don't even want us shifting to get into the spirit. Don't fall into that area of not praying this year. Honey, you're going to have to pray. You're going to have to pray through this year. I'm not talking about, no, now I lay me down to sleep. Honey, come on. You too old for that now. You ought to be able to put a prayer together. Y'all ain't going to like me. You ought to be able to talk to God now. Honey, it's time. The Bible said men ought to always pray and not faint. Come on, somebody. It say the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. Stop letting the devil tell you that God don't hear you, because this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. And if we know he heareth us, we know we have the petition desire of him when you pray. Believe that God is going to answer your prayer. Why you think the Bible said, have faith in God? Come on, somebody. That's all God is saying. Get back to our prayer lives. Oh, come on, somebody. Man, when you was praying in the spirit, it didn't matter what was going wrong. You know why? Because all you knew was that God is able. I don't see it. I don't understand it. But all I know